Hey everybody, this is Professor Lilly, and I want to talk to you about the final exam. And as you know, tonight is the deadline for finish up the work on your final portfolio website projects. Um, and yesterday we had critiques, and the thing that I stressed the most was to make sure you go through this list today, and make sure you're fulfilling all of the guidelines. Because when I grade, I will just have a checklist and I'll just be going through them. So the easiest way to be dinged on points is to not fulfill some of the guidelines. And for example, to make sure that you don't forget to have a contact form on your contact page or on your about page, and the Google Map embed, and then at least five embeds. Remember that your if you did it correctly, your video YouTube embed and your audio embed, if you did it as an embed or that where you can play it right in the page and not as a download, then those counts. Um, so for most of you, you just have to add one or two more. And make sure you have your favicon. So just make sure you go through this list and double check and make sure it's all there. And then especially on remember you're supposed to have three portfolio pages with portfolio type work on it. And on those pages, just make sure everything is well kind of organized and structured. Okay, so again, make sure you go through this list and have it all completed on your website by tonight. You don't have to turn anything in. There is a rubric down here at the bottom, but this is just for me to grade it, because it's connected to the grade book, and it has a rubric in here that I will basically be used to grade your final project. But you don't have to do anything today other than to turn in, other than actually get all the work done on your website. And then the last thing for the semester is the final exam. So you have a big window to take the exam. So it will officially open this Saturday at noon, and then it will close Monday at noon. And this big window covers both of the exam periods for both the section. One section, the official exam period is Saturday at 1, and the other one, it's Monday at 9 in the morning. So you have this big window, but do not log in, Monday at noon, because that's exactly when it closes. Okay, so you can't start the exam then. If any of you are still in, let's say you decide to log in at 11 o'clock on Monday morning, and as soon as it becomes noon, it will close. Okay, so that's when it closes. So if you want to have your full 2 hours, then the last kind of time that you could start it to get that full 2 hours would be Monday morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. Of course, this is all Eastern Standard Time. Now, once you start it, whenever you start it within that window, you have 2 hours to complete it. So you start the exam, and then it begins an internal clock, and after 2 hours, it will log you out. So you have 2 hours to do it. So how do you prepare? So first of all, have your tutorial journal already typed up, and so this would be everything from basically the Spark page assignment, and then the final project assignment with learning how to do plugins and widgets and embeds. Okay, so the last tutorial journal you turned in was for audio and video, so you don't include that. You include the last, and then the thing we started after that was Spark page. So you do Spark page, and then all the final project readings and tutorials for embeds and widgets, and my video that talked about that, and then anything else you found on the web included as well. So have that already typed up, because one of the questions, I think in fact the first question will say, go ahead and paste in your tutorial journal, your final tutorial journal, in that essay box. And then you will also be asked for the URL of your site to type it in there. Presumably you all know by heart what the URL of your site is. So, I know how to get to your site anyway, but it's kind of testing that you should be able to know what it is. And also, when I go to grade the final projects, then I'll have it there too. Okay, and then um, you will have several course feedback questions. Okay, and I have one example here. So this is one of the questions, and I just want to show you beforehand what it looks like. So basically, this one is giving me extra feedback, and the purpose behind this is because if you did the normal like official Loyola student evaluations for this course, and I hope you did, but they don't necessarily require you to give me feedback that will help me to make the course better. So I'm trying to get some specific information so that I can see what the different student experiences were, and so that I can make the course better next time. And this semester was a little bit different, and it's possible that we would, again, at a different time, run this course as an online only course. It notes here that usually it's a hybrid. So usually you would meet once a week in the class uh, setting, and then you would have the other class session to do tutorials and things like that. And several of the questions are like this with A and B. Okay, so how do you get full? I think this question is worth 9 points, right? So you come in here, you read the question, um, and this one's asking about your general experience with the online experience, and then the second question, second or part B, is asking specifically about the Zoom sessions. Sometimes for some of the modules that I didn't think we needed them very much, we didn't do them or only did one a week, and then others we did it twice a week. So I'm just asking you about what you would prefer. So if you write, I'd say 2 or 3 sentences, maybe full paragraph for each one of these of what your experience was and describe it and why you feel that way, then when I get through the grade, I will just automatically give you those 9 points. So you would get 9 out of 9 points if you have a paragraph in each one of these describing your experience. How would you lose points? Well, first of all, if you didn't answer one of these, so if you came through and you answered A, but you didn't answer B, then I might, give you half credit for this question. And then if you came in and gave like a really short sentence or very vague answer, then you might get docked some points. So the easiest way is to take the question seriously, really answer it fully, and then you would get 9 out of 9 points, the full points. And there are, I do believe, 4 of these course feedback questions. And then you come to 2 essay questions that are more traditional exam type questions. They aren't multiple choice, they're essays. And both of them will ask specifically, will give you a word count. So one of them, says in 300 words, answer parts A, B, and C to this particular question. This is open web. Okay, so your experience in the modules, focusing on WordPress and audio and video, and the readings there, you could go back to those depending on the question. And your experience should help you to guide you to where you want to go to find the information on these. But you can go to the web, and just like in this example here, the way you cite information is you would say, according to this website or according to that website or this expert, and you link to it. And that's how I know that, okay, this is where the student got that information. And also that I know that you're not plagiarizing. Okay, so do not copy and paste whole sentences or paragraphs and act as if they're your own, because I will easily identify that it's not student writing, and I can easily find out where you got it from. So the big thing is do not plagiarize, answer the questions very specifically, and get lots of, you can embed infographics or images to help answer these questions, and certainly lots of links. And I do believe these are each worth 22 points each. So they're worth almost half of them together, half of the points of the exam. So, you want to spend your majority of your time, probably 75 minutes or so on these questions, and I think you will do fine. And as I said here, you can add graphics and things like that. And this tells you specifically some of the type questions I might be asking in the essays. And that is it. So let's see, when I click here, so right now this is what would happen if you are on the website. It says it's not available to Saturday the 12th at 12 p.m. and it closes at Monday the 14th at 12 p.m. Okay, and once you start, your time limit is 2 hours. So that's it. Just don't forget. I will send a reminder out on probably Friday. Just reminding you that you need to take it within that period. And good luck. If you have any questions, just email me, and then give me. It'll take me probably a week or so to go through and grade all the exams, and then also the final projects. Um, and I have to turn them in. Actually, they give a pretty long deadline, but they don't say I have to turn them in until early January. But I'm going to turn in my grades before Christmas. Okay. So take care. Send me an email if you have any questions. And just the number one thing is have the tutorial journal already written. Remember how some of you lost points in the tutorial journals in the previous modules just because you didn't really say much. So have it be a full tutorial journal where you talk about the specific readings, both the ones I gave you in Moodle and then any that you use to find information on these topics. So just to get the full points, just do a full tutorial journal, write it up before the exam, and then you'll just copy and paste it into that question. And then just don't forget and use the full 2 hours. Put your effort into it, and I think you will do fine. Okay, so take care. Hope you had a great semester. Email me if you have any questions.